Good afternoon, sir. Would you please state your name and spell your last name?
Jonathan Diamandis, Diamandis.
You've also been here all day.
Yes.
Sorry for making you wait.
No problem.
Do you know former State Trooper Michael Proctor?
I do.
How do you know him?
I've known him since middle school, probably the 6th grade.
Grew up with him, essentially?
Grew up with him, been friends for 30 years.
Okay, and if you just keep your voice up,
Sure. Yep.
I'm sure other people can hear you, but this old guy.
So can you turn off the fans and the air conditioning? Are they all off?
Yeah, she's going to shut that down.
We're just going to do that, sir, so that we can get through this a little bit.
Absolutely, sure.
Much better, thank you. So you say you've known him since middle school, elementary school?
Yes.
Graduate high school with him?
Yes.
And are you friends after high school as well?
Yes.
Do you have his cell phone number in your phone?
I do.
Have you texted with him over the years?
I have.
In fact, were you on a group text chain with him that lasted a number of years?
Yes.
I would like to show you a document, sir, and I'm going to ask you to read it to yourself, familiarize yourself with it, and then when you're done, look up at me. Okay. May I approach?
Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor. Sir, have you reviewed that entire document?
Yes.
Does that look familiar to you?
Yes.
What do you recognize it to be?
It looks to be a text chain with a group of my friends that I grew up with.
Okay. And so would all of those friends have been people that you went to high school with?
Not all the same high school, but the same time. Some of us went to different schools.
And you were friends during that era?
Yes.
And you've remained friends for how many years since then?
I mean, we've been friends for 30 plus years, probably.
Do you know precisely when that text chain started?
I do not know when the text chain started.
Months, years?
Years. Definitely years.
And that's a portion, in other words, there's a start time and an end time to that, but the text chain started before the start time that's listed on that document?
That's correct.
Now, I'd like to ask you about 5 different categories of information that allow you to identify the text chain. First of all, directing your attention to page 1. That is an unredacted version of this. Do you see your phone number on page 1?
I do.
And is that accurate in terms of your phone number?
It is.
Do you have a passcode on your phone?
On my phone, yes, I do.
All right, and have you had that for years?
Yes.
So as of January of 2022, you would have had a passcode to get into your phone, correct?
Correct.
With regard to the typing of text messages, you didn't appear to be too active on this thread, is that correct?
Not from what I see here.
Did you see one entry that you actually did text?
Yes, one.
Okay, and I think these page numbers, they're all numbered. Could you direct us to the page where you actually chimed in? And if I suggested to you, it might be 4 from the end. And you don't have to read the actual text, sir. I just want to...
Sure. I'm just trying to locate it. Yes, I see it. Okay,
and the time of that, date and time of that text as it's reflected on this document?
February 2nd, 2022, 12:38 p.m.
Okay. And what you type...
I have a different copy.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's for the record, it's on page...
What's the bottom page number? So what are the last 2 digits? 4, 5.
And for the record, reading what is typed there, does that sound consistent with something you might chime in a text message, a text chain of this sort?
It could be. I have no memory of actually typing it, but
sure,
that's not something. It could have been something that I would say. Yeah.
At the very last line of that text, do you mention somebody's nickname?
Yes.
And what nickname is that?
Chip.
And whom do you know as Chip?
Michael Proctor.
Now, going back to the first page, there are a number of other phone numbers there. have you checked your phone prior to taking the stand today to match those phone numbers with other friends of yours?
Yes.
And if you could, and hopefully you remember them all, can you list by first name only your friends who are included in this text chain?
Sure.
I don't think it's necessary.
Yeah. So let's not, if he recognizes, I don't want to put names out.
Oh,
there.
I don't either, Judge. That's why I was saying first names. But if that's sufficient that he recognizes...
Why don't you refer to the last two digits in the phone?
Sure.
Is that acceptable, Mr. Brennan?
It is.
Okay.
Okay. You see, I'll list the last two digits of the phone numbers that don't have a name associated with them. Okay?
Okay.
If I may just have a moment.
Yes.
Yeah, of course. Okay, starting with the phone number that ends in 51. After you checked your contacts, is that a friend of yours?
Yes, it is.
Who was on the text chain?
Correct.
With regard to the phone number that ends in 68, same question. Is that a friend of yours who was on the text chain?
Correct.
And with regard to 45, which is the next one, again, a friend of yours who was on the text chain?
That's me.
Oh, I'm sorry, that is you,
Yeah.
of course. With regard to 95, is that a friend of yours who was on the text chain?
Yes, it is.
And with regard to 93, same question, friend of yours on the text chain?
Yes.
And then there are three numbers there, one that ends in 11, one that ends in 46, and one that ends in 82. Do you see that those particular numbers have a nickname associated with them?
Yes.
Those nicknames, do you recognize them as being also friends of yours who are on the text chain?
I do.
And then finally, there is somebody listed as local user. We'll get back to that one.
Okay.
With regard to the other ones that you've just identified, sir, have you texted back and forth with them on those phone numbers over the years?
Yes.
And also with regard to this particular text thread?
Yes.
All right. Now, I'd also ask you, with regard to the content of these messages and who said what, and particularly focusing on the one that's identified as local user. Having read that text chain, were you able to determine who local user is?
Yes.
And who is that?
Michael Proctor.
And was that by the content of the messages that Michael Proctor typed that you recognized it?
Yes.
And with regard to whether this is a complete, accurate record of what it purports to be, what is your testimony in that regard?
I believe this to be a record of our text chain for this period of time.
Appears to be accurate and complete.
It does.
If I may have a moment, Your Honor.
Okay.
Just one more question for you, sir. Does the text message chain that you read fairly and accurately represent the circumstances of the conversation that was going on?
Yes.
Nothing further.
Mr. Brennan?
Good morning.
Morning. Good afternoon.
Do you have an independent memory of any of the text conversations in the package that you reviewed?
I do not have a memory of this happening.
Thank you.
Nothing on that.
All right. So, sir, I'm going to ask you to you're all set.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you to step down.
Okay. Thank you.
Your Honor, given that unfortunately this witness was not reached by the jury today, I would like him recognized as well.
He has counsel here with him, right? Does he have counsel here with him?
Yes,
All right.
Your Honor.
Sir, you'll make sure your client is here when we need him?
I will do so, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
My name is Thomas Campbell. My office is in Boston.
And I'll speak with Mr. Campbell in terms of an appropriate time of day. He's been very cooperative.
All right. So, sir, you can leave,
Okay.
Thank you.
right? And thank you, Mr. Campbell. We'll see you. We'll let you know when we need you back. It's probably going to be Monday first thing.
Understood.
Thank you.
Sir, watch your step coming down.